Okay, so let's dive into this hugely influential book by Gary Chapman, The Five Love Languages. For decades, it's been helping people get to the bottom of a question that really starts with a simple, pretty universal feeling. So, Dr. Chapman tells this story about a guy on a plane who asks him a question I think a lot of us can relate to. He says, "What happens to the love after the wedding?" I mean, this guy had been married 3 times, and every single time, that amazing, exciting feeling, it just vanished. So, what's the deal? Why does that first intense blast of love feel like it has an expiration date? So, right off the bat, the book makes this really, really important distinction. You know that incredible butterflies in the stomach feeling? Well, that's what he calls the in love experience. And the thing is, it's temporary. A psychologist, Dr. Dorothy Tenove, actually studied this and found that the average lifespan of that kind of romantic obsession is only about 2 years. Real love, the stuff that actually lasts, that's something completely different. It's not some instinct we're born with, it's a choice. It's intentional, and yeah, it takes some discipline. Okay, so if real love is a choice we have to make, then how do we actually do it? Well, the whole idea behind this book, the entire framework, it's all built around this one just brilliant metaphor that Chapman borrows from a psychiatrist named Dr. Ross Campbell. And it's this concept of an emotional love tank. I want you to literally picture a fuel gauge, but for your heart. We've all got one inside of us. And our most fundamental emotional need, really, is to feel loved, to keep that tank full. When it's full, everything's great, right? We feel secure, our relationships are thriving. But when that tank starts running on empty, well, that's when things start to get rocky. And this, right here, this is the fundamental problem we so often miss. We try to fill our partner's love tank, but we do it by speaking our own love language. The problem is, if their language is as different from ours as, say, Japanese is from Spanish, all our efforts, all our love, it just gets lost in translation. We can be totally sincere, 100% genuine, but sincerity isn't enough if they can't understand what we're saying. All right, so let's actually get into them. We're going to take a quick tour of these 5 different emotional love languages. And as we're going through them, try to see if you can hear your own native tongue. See which one really resonates with you. First up, we've got words of affirmation. This one is all about the power of what you say. We're talking about verbal compliments, wow, you look amazing in that outfit, or words of encouragement that give your partner courage when they need it. It's about using kind, humble words that just build them up, that affirm how much they mean to you. It's like what Mark Twain said, right? I can live for 2 months on a good compliment. For some people, that's absolutely true. Next, we have quality time. And listen, this isn't just about being in the same zip code as your partner. No, this means giving them your undivided attention. I'm talking phones down, TV off, making eye contact, and actually listening. It's all about creating a space for real togetherness, maybe through a deep conversation or just doing something fun together. You're giving them the most valuable thing you've got, your focus time. Okay, number 3, receiving gifts. Now, for some people, a tangible gift is the loudest and clearest symbol of love. It's something they can physically hold in their hand and think, wow, they were actually thinking about me. And let's be super clear here. This is not about materialism or how much something costs. A flower you picked from the garden, a cool rock you found on a walk, those can speak volumes. It's the visual, tangible proof of affection that matters. Then there's acts of service. For these folks, the old saying is literally true. Actions speak louder than words. This language is all about showing your love by doing things. It's about looking for ways to please your partner by serving them. Think about it. Cooking their favorite meal, taking out the trash without even being asked, running that errand you know they've been dreading. When you do these things with a good attitude, they are incredibly powerful expressions of love. And last, but certainly not least, we have physical touch. For someone who speaks this language, touch is the most direct and powerful way to communicate emotional love, period. Things like holding hands, a long hug when they're stressed, even just a simple hand on their shoulder, these kinds of nonverbal touches can literally make or break a relationship for them. They speak way louder than words ever could. So there you have it. Those are the 5 languages. But now comes the big question, right? The million-dollar question. Which one do you speak, and which one does your partner speak? Because if you don't know the answer, all your best efforts, all that love you're trying to show, it might just be getting lost. So how in the world do you figure out your primary love language? It's not always something that just clicks instantly. But don't worry, the book gives us a really simple way to start discovering it. And it all begins by looking inward, by really examining your own feelings and reactions. Here are 3 pretty solid clues to get you started. First, ask yourself, what hurts you the most? Think about what your partner does, or maybe doesn't do, that just cuts you to the core. The opposite of that is probably your love language. Second, what do you find yourself asking for all the time? And third, how do you naturally express love to other people? Because that's often a dead giveaway for how you want to receive it yourself. Now, if you want a more direct route, you can try this awesome little game called the tank check. It's super simple. You just ask your partner, hey, on a scale of 0 to 10, how full is your love tank right now? And then, and this is the most important part, you follow up with, what could I do to help fill it up? It's such a great, non-confrontational way to get real, actionable feedback, like right now.
All right, and all of this, it brings us to what might just be the most empowering takeaway from this entire framework. Seriously, it's an idea that can totally reframe everything you thought you knew about what makes a relationship last.
Remember how we talked about that temporary in-love obsession at the beginning? Yeah, that's not a choice. That's just a thing that happens. But this is a choice. Real, lasting love isn't just some gooey feeling. It's a rational, intentional decision to put energy into someone else's well-being. It's an attitude. It's looking at your partner and saying, I am with you, and I choose to look out for what's best for you. And here's where it gets, I think, really profound. Let's say your partner's love language feels totally unnatural to you. Maybe their language is physical touch, but you're just not a very touchy-feely person. Well, choosing to speak their language anyway, that can be the greatest expression of love. Why? Because you're not doing it for you. You're not doing it because it's comfortable. You're doing it entirely for them. And that's what real love looks like. So in the end, this whole explainer and the book it's all based on, it does more than just give us interesting information. It leaves us with a choice. It hands us a practical, real-world tool to turn love from something that just happens to us into something we choose to do every single day. It's a game changer. So the final question is, now that you know the languages, which one are you going to choose to speak today?